Hello, everybody. It's your boy Josh Shops,
It's your boy Chili.
and we want to thank you for watching. Make sure you hit the like button, subscribe. We're back again with another review. So, Last of Us, season 2, episode 2. So, just to give you a warning, we may discuss some spoilers. Just give you a warning. If you haven't seen it, pause, go watch it, come back. Make
Some
sure you
spoiler.
subscribe while you're at it.
Yeah, some spoiler. No, we about to reveal the spoiler. Nigga, ain't no.
Hey. You get what I'm trying to say. We may not do a play by play, but we're gonna discuss important parts of the episode. I'm just gonna let you know that. I'd rather be honest. Okay. All right, Tate. First reaction to episode 2.
Well,
Everybody thinking what you about to say. Go ahead. Go ahead. Let it out.
they did name episode Through the Valleys. Uh, if anybody know what that means, you already know what that means. But yeah, this escalated very quickly.
Yep.
Um,
Escalated quick. This actually was a great episode. Actually,
yeah, this went from from episode 1 to episode 2. This went from like a 5 to a 12.
this is like a 4 to a 15. We they broke the ball on this one. I'm joking.
uh, if I had to compare it to something, yeah, we have just seen the Last of Us version of the Red Wedding. I'm just letting you know that
Remember
right.
what this was like Ned Stark death, but on episode 2 of the season. That's
Exactly.
pretty much what it was. Like it was like Game of Thrones style. Yeah, so just to give you a warning, the Joel is rest in peace. You
Yeah,
know.
yeah. If you are well, most of the fan base is uh have played the game. If you have played the game, you already knew what it was going to happen. Like you said, if you read the books of Game of Thrones, you knew Ned Stark wasn't going to make it. It's the same exact thing.
Yep. We,
It's
if we
does.
played the video game, we knew Joel wasn't gonna make it. I thought they was gonna stretch it, maybe like episode 5. That's probably what happened.
Man,
Then at least like Ellie getting her revenge. I
yeah,
thought it was gonna be like lead into season 3. So it
yeah,
looks like season 2 is gonna be Ellie revenge.
man, I ain't gonna lie. Uh, Max, HBO, they pulled a fast one. I ain't gonna lie. I thought this one was gonna be the season ending, and then season 3 was going to be the battle between
You
Abby
been
and
you been
Ellie.
you been hoodwinkle, huh? I'm
It's like,
joking.
I've been hoodwinked, bamboozled, caught straight, whatever you want. I am outraged. No, I'm not really.
I'm not outraged. I want to say it was a good decision.
I was,
At first, I thought they were gonna stretch it, but then I was like,
yeah,
it
like,
actually makes a good decision to do it episode 2.
yeah. I think they're kind of going with the same pace of the game. Because literally,
Mhm.
if you think about it, it technically was the second mission of the
Yeah,
game.
man.
So
Keep it 100. Joel should have let Abby die. I'm just letting you know he should have let her die. Should- I
I,
know it was from the video game. It was in the video game, but
yeah,
I'm talking about like from just looking at the story as a whole, the
yeah.
episode as a whole.
Well, for real, he ain't know that was the
Say,
doctor's
say,
daughter.
you get what I'm trying to say. If you had
Yeah.
to go back in time, say, yeah, I should just let her
Oh no,
die.
if his spirit could talk to him, he would literally say, "Hey,
Nah,
let her go.
she'd be all right.
She'll survive." That's pretty much she will survive. She won't. She won't. No, she really won't. But Jesus.
Then she
But no,
tough, right? She came out here looking for revenge. She tough. I'm joking.
pretty much. But the crazy thing was, it went from being it was crazy because it went from literally Joel saving her to being Joel's demise because like I said, he didn't know that was he was he ain't know old girl was the
But
daughter.
hey, I want to give a slight flaw in the story. Same flaw I had in the video game.
Yeah,
Like some completely random stranger like you just find a completely random
yeah,
stranger and they say, "Oh, it's more of us. Can you go to the cat?" I'm like,
yeah. That was
you
a
get
red
that's
flag.
the only flaw I had in the episode. Outside of that, the episode was perfected.
yeah.
down to the the breach,
Well, the
down to the
crazy
attack.
thing is, yeah, because I was about to say for real, that was actually more. That was more in depth than the actual game itself too, with them interfering, like
But
actually interfering.
actually, this I would say the show did a better storyline than
Yeah.
the video game
Yes.
because in the video game we didn't know why why Abby wanted to kill Joe to
Yes.
the end.
Yeah.
It was like to the end. Now they made you understand what her motivation why she wanted to kill
Yeah.
Joe, which made the storyline much
Yes.
better,
Like her
much
seeing, like her older self seeing her younger self after the event, saying, "Don't go in there.
better. Hmm.
You're not gonna like what you see." Then that it made the fuel. You know what I'm saying? It, like you said, it brought the
Hmm.
fuel to the fire. Um, and she has been pretty much on a warpath, and for 5 years she's been on a warpath to try to find Joel. And then so happily, this coincidence of her leaving her post, quote unquote, and stumbled upon a nest of infected under the snow, had led her to the person she was looking for the whole time.
Yeah, it was just perfect coincidence,
Yeah,
perfect timing.
it was like perfect timing.
Because technically, if you look at it, if you look at the beginning, they was like scoping the place,
Yeah,
doing recon on it, and they said, yeah, I don't know how we gonna get this
they
guy.
wasn't
We
gonna
don't
make
even
it.
know because
Yeah,
they say even if we able to get in, get past the dog, get past all the firing squad, we
you're
still
not
don't
gonna.
know where he at. We
Yeah.
still don't know where he's at on the, yeah.
Well, and the other thing is, I will actually say, compared to the game, I like that they did the character switch from
Hmm.
Dina to Tom from Tommy. I did like they did
Hmm.
that switch because the reason why I say that, it makes Tommy's vengeance a lot more
Yeah,
gruesome.
but
Of
Tay, it wouldn't make sense for Joe and Tommy to be out in the
yes,
movie, in the TV show. My bad, the TV show
yeah,
from the storyline.
yeah. For the storyline, it made perfect sense for Dina to be in it.
I want to say slight criticism to Last of Us 2.
Mm.
The writing wasn't the greatest. It was a lot of
I don't
flaw in the
expect,
writing
truthfully, I don't
on the
expect it to
storyline.
have like, yeah,
On the storyline, if you look
yeah,
at it, because HBO Max actually did it a little bit better in my opinion.
yeah,
In my opinion, they did it better.
yeah.
Just my opinion.
I think I think what them being on HBO, it makes them explore their story a little bit more.
Yeah,
Like now we hearing Eugene a little bit more, like how Joe had to kill. He pretty much got bit. Pretty much that's why Joe
which
had to
I
kill him.
yeah
Like
yeah.
now we starting to know more and more about some of these characters and why
Hmm.
Joe is pretty much feared in Jackson. It's because of the fact he's not scared to make the call. Pretty much.
Yep. And
Um
then I would say the whole fight against the infected. That was a great
yeah,
scene.
that was a great scene. Yeah, the Jackson
And did you see your man's face when he looked at the
invasion.
binoculars and saw all
Yeah.
those runners? He's like, oh, whoa. He probably
Now,
respected just a few. He's like, oh, wow, there's a whole bunch of
and all that came from one spot. One spot in the daggone in the forest.
them.
Literally. One
I
spot.
don't think it. I don't think it was just Abby's fault because they was messing with the roots in the fight.
Yes.
So I think it was like a combination. I think she was a small factor. I think they was coming regardless because it's
It
been
just
reported.
yeah, it activated it after she
Yeah,
yeah, you know what I'm saying? So for me, it's like
and but that was a good scene though.
yeah,
When
yeah.
she walked on it and they just turnly moved and they all just popped out. Hey, that was a good
And
scene.
then you see the daggone bloaters are more intelligent too. Like they got
Yeah.
smarter now. Like
Now,
they don't
what I think what you're saying is they evolved.
yes. Yeah.
Remember from episode one, the crawler, they didn't expect it to be stalking, the stalker and stuff
Exactly.
like that, planning an attack.
Yeah.
Not they normally just attack, not try to hide. And yeah,
Yeah. But no, like overall, like I said, great story. I do like they expanded the story on the TV show more than they did the game. I get the game is on a deadline. I get that. TV series is a deadline, but you can literally expand it a little bit more with TV shows than you can do with a game. Um, and I also like the fact that, like I said, I like the fact that I mean, I don't know how much people gonna agree with this. The version that they did on the game was good. It was gruesome, but that version showed a whole lot more than I thought it would been. Like,
Mhm.
of course, the golf club and like they ain't show all that. Of course, it is what it is. They just show her beating him to a pulp after after the golf club. But to actually take the broken end of that joint and just stab him
I
in
like
the
Joe. Hey, but Joe went out like a soldier. He said, "If you're going, just kill." Like she was about to go on her little revenge speech. He's like,
man.
"Nah."
I don't want to get in trouble with YouTube. I was about to say, he just say, man, get the F on. That's pretty much what he said. He like, I
He was
ain't gonna
like, "Yeah, I don't want to hear your revenge
exactly.
prequel, whole prequel, full autobiography. Why you hating? Just go ahead and get it over with."
I do
Yeah,
not need. Joe said, I do not need to know your villain origin story. Just get this
nah, but
joint.
Tony D probably found out they was firefighter. He's like, "Yeah, I'm done."
Yeah,
Yeah, he probably.
but like I said, yeah, just be happy Tommy wasn't the second character in that one because yeah, it would not have been a pretty sight. It's still not going to be a pretty sight. Truthfully, it's
Yeah,
still not going to be a pretty sight.
yeah.
Um, and like I said, we're gonna see what they did kept it true with Ellie showing up when she showed up. That was I did like they kept that version of her like actually her seeing Joel
Mhm,
in his last moments, and the over the the shot overhead of her like actually before she passed out, of course. Uh, her consoling Joel, and then Jesse coming at the end to drag. I ain't gonna say drag. They had to. I don't think they can necessarily put him on a horse, so they had to literally bag him up pretty much.
yeah,
And
they like put him in sheets and stuff
yeah,
and drag him the horse.
yeah. Um, so I'm pretty sure they're gonna show the aftermath of the invasion from
Mhm,
um from the affected in Jackson, and they probably gonna have their um I guess they own way of doing Joel's burial or showing Joel with Tommy. 'Cause like I said, Tommy was
mhm,
there in the game. So this will be the first time Tommy's seen him after them doing they round, them helping out this down the third. Um yeah. So I'm waiting to see what's gonna happen. But just know Crash Out season has begun for Ellie. So
Yeah, this is Ellie origin revenge story, and also I think they probably gonna do a bunch of flashbacks to Joel. That's what
yeah,
they probably gonna do throughout this
yeah.
season.
Because I was about to say that was actually gonna be one of my predictions that they actually gonna tell like he's actually like one of the flashbacks, just like the game.
Hmm.
Uh Spoiler. I mean, so cover your ears if you don't know about this one, but I'm pretty sure one of the episodes is going to be him. It's probably gonna be a filler episode that he's going to eventually tell Ellie what happened at Salt Lake. I'm pretty sure, and
Probably so.
that's probably what caused the conflict of of them two having a standard beef until Joel's last breath, pretty much. Um, because it's also funny that in the show Joe wanted Ellie to come with him on their round, but he like nah, let her sleep. So he just took Dean. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Like it was weird. Like they were supposed to actually be either way. They were still supposed to be together, but
Hmm.
because of that change, will we would have had both characters gone, or would we would still just been Joel? That was the other, what if, what I'm saying on that whole thing. But
Yeah,
yeah, Crash Out season about to happen. Though.
yeah. Okay. All right. So 0 to 10, will you give a rating? Episode 2.
All right, I know I do like the writing better on this. We could
Mhm.
both agree on that. The writing
I
was
say
better.
I said the writing was better than the video game, in my opinion.
I'll say off of everything that happens off of this and them just blazing this joint off of just episode two and they just blazing it off like this. This might be the first time I actually gave it a score like this. I mean, like a score like this. I'm actually probably gonna give it. Ooh, I might give it 9.5.
I'm gonna say a 9. This might have been the best episode so
This
far.
might be the yeah.
Hey, this might be the best episode so far.
I think from both seasons, yes.
Both
From
seasons. This might be the best episode, bro, from both seasons.
the virtual effects, the evasion, the the writing, the character development.
Man, Joel Death by itself made it like one of the best episode, bro. Just the episode of Joel Death. All
Just
right, I'm gonna give it like a 9.2. It's almost a. I told
it's
you that small critique. I only got one small critique. Outside of that, it was almost a perfect episode.
yeah. Now for real, if they wanted it to be a 10, I mean, if they wanted it to be a 10, I understand they already released the episode.
All right,
It's
throw your hypothetical out. Go ahead.
not if they wanted a 10, I lied to you not. They should have did the whole thing like having Joel actually in the city, like showing him to show what happened to the city, to Jackson, and to make everybody furious. That would have been perfect
Oh man.
because now you pretty much lost you outside of Tommy. You lost the guy that was the feared guy in the city, like in the town.
Mhm,
Now you see that guy that's beloved but also feared is out. What other dangers do we have?
mhm,
You know what I'm saying? It would have brought a little bit more attention to it, especially by Ellie being hurt, with
mhm,
that whole thing, and then not finding out who it is until
mhm,
Dina actually wakes up. I mean, fully is conscious and telling everybody
mhm,
what happened because she don't know what happened after the pretty much the sleeping serum, whatever the heck they gave her. She don't know. She
mhm.
black. They pretty much put her to sleep. She's blacked out. She didn't know what happened. So are they
Oh,
gonna try to
so
blame? Or they, I mean, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, are they
I was gonna do a 9. I'm gonna do a 9.2.
yeah,
That might 9.5. You convinced me to go up. I'm gonna say 9.2.
yeah.
It was
Like I
at
said,
least a 9.
yeah,
It was at least a 9.
yeah. Like I said, if they wanted a 10, they should have did like one of those ceremonial things, like actually showing him getting like horse rided through the city of them saying, "Yo, this is like, dang, this is Joel." Like, really, that's
Oh
Joel is
yeah,
out.
yeah, that would have been a 10. That would have made it. They might say that for next episode. That might be something potentially,
Yeah,
potentially,
yeah, because I
potentially.
think from what the sneak peek is, he is in the morgue, like in a burial, not in a burial, but he's in with all of the casualties from the events. So I think they are going to pretty much announce it and then go from there. And I also think, and not too much of a spoiler, I think this might be the start of the subway mission where
Yeah,
when Ellie goes to the subway and
yeah. I can picture that being even episode 3 or 4. Man,
yeah,
yeah, they're gonna do that episode. They're gonna do
because that's
that
the
episode.
beginning of yeah, because that was her beginning of the search for Abby and the and her crew, pretty much her friends, as you know, as
Mhm.
they go. So yeah, I want to see how it's gonna go. Because if they play now if they play out the depths of the friends like they play out in the game, I really hope they make them more um expand. I think that I hope they expand on those a little bit more, like unlike the video game when you just play the character and and then you do it that way. I hope they really explain, like actually give an explanation and explain like
Yeah.
each
No,
character.
they've been doing it better. HBO, it's been written better than the actual video
Yeah,
game. It explains more because the video game, Last of Us 2, for example, the writing wasn't the greatest, in my opinion. They left a little out. I understand it's a video game. They had to like rush to it.
Yeah, they
So
had to rush it. Yeah,
yeah,
and on top
yeah,
of that, I think by it having that deadline, it did leave a lot of potholes in that story though too.
yeah.
So
Okay. All right. So I think we're going to end it here. I want to thank everybody for watching. Make sure you hit the like button, subscribe. Also, we're available on Rumble, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio. We on
we on
different
everything.
platforms.
Yeah, we on
So
everything.
we love it for you to hear us. We're gonna try to do more content about 2 or 3 times a week. So
Yeah.
you'll get content as things happen. All right. So peace and hair grease.